Hello, 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 friends. Welcome, welcome. It is March 19th. We are doing our new moon in Pisces gathering for today. So, how are y'all doing with this water energy? Because I don't know about y'all, but like I've been emotional AF. Oh, it's been gross. Like real fucking gross how emotional it's been. And like as a fire sign, I fucking hate it. It makes my skin literally crawl. It's like, ew, this is so gross. Like, why are we leaking from our orifices? Like, ew. Um, and I just don't want to do it anymore. Um, yeah, so that's like just huge in what's happening right now because like not only is this a new moon in Pisces, which is very water emotional blah bullshit, it's also that like we are in this collective 1 year. And like I talked about this, I think in our last gathering where I said like this collective 1 year feels like the actual collective 9 year hasn't ended as of yet. And it still feels very similar to the nine. And I still believe that that's kind of true, but I do think that we have made that switch into the collective 1 year energy. I just wasn't expecting it to be this rough, if I'm honest with you. Like I didn't expect the new beginnings, the rebirth, all of that to be so hard because I thought that we like didn't we like go through all that already? Like didn't we do all this bullshit already in the collective 9 years? So like why? But like this is something that's reminding me of like a lot oftentimes when we are shifting into something new. There's a lot of parts of the old that want to make up a whole lot of noise, right? Like our ego wants to scream because it doesn't feel safe in the way that it used to. Sorry, I don't know why my video went out, but let's turn that back on. Um, like it wants to go back to old familiar things that felt safer, or that felt better, or that didn't feel so hard. But like ego plays such a really big trick on us because really everything in some way is hard and we just have to choose that hard. You know what I mean? Like, I literally just made a post before hopping on here about talking about how much addiction fucking sucks because I am now, and I made a mistake in the post. I need to switch that, but like I am now 3 months smoke free and I am now 2 or maybe closer to 3 weeks post medication assistance. So I was taking Champix to help me quit smoking. Um, and I have been out of that prescription now for about 2 weeks. Like you only get a 3 month course with it, and that's as long as you're supposed to be on it. And it's just amazing how much that fucking prescription blocked my brain from thoughts. And I've been now 2, almost 3 weeks with so much fucking noise. So much fucking noise. Like, just have the cigarette, eat the food, do the thing that's going to make you feel better. When in all reality, like, it's not going to, right? It's about choosing the hard. It was hard for me last year to be a smoker and to be as overweight as I was. That was a different kind of hard. This is a new kind of hard where I'm denying myself the things that my brain thinks that it wants. And I'm denying myself of it because I know that it's unhealthy, right? Um, yeah. So to me, and this is just my personal feelings, is this moon feels more full moon energy than it does necessarily new moon energy. And I think that's just because there's so much that's being highlighted and illuminated, where normally we would look at a new moon as an opportunity for setting new intentions for manifestation and things of that nature. I think this new moon is actually going to be more about being present with what it is that we're feeling to allow things to be highlighted for us to see through that illumination because Pisces is the fish. It is about learning how to go with the flow of the current or of the tide. There are only a few specific breeds of fish that will actually swim against the current and will swim upstream instead of going with the flow. And I feel like sometimes we're trying to be the fish that go against the current, where maybe this is where we need to learn how to go with the flow a little bit more and allow ourselves to feel and express the things that we need to feel. Because this is just very true Pisces energy, right? So, um, yeah. So this new moon, like I said, it feels different. It feels more full moon in its emotion. Because like I said, normally new moons are about like action, movement, doing something with the energy. But this Pisces new moon is like, hey, can we just sit down and feel our feelings for a minute? Where there's like a lot of us who are like, fuck off with feelings. Like I know that's how I've been personally feeling. Like this last week has been an emotional roller coaster. Like I can't even describe. And I'm at the point right now where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get the fuck off of this emotional roller coaster ride. Like, it's not fun. It hasn't been fun, and I don't want it to be. And I just don't want to be here with that any longer. But, we have to. It's part of the growth. Ugh. Um, but yeah, I also want to like just put out there too that Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac as well. So this is like a little bit of an ending energy coming in too, right? So it's not just about how the next sign that we move into being like the astrological new year, because we'll be moving into the season of Aries. It's also like this is the last one of the zodiac as well. So this can feel a lot like ending because it can feel like there's a lot of release or dissolving or letting go of what you don't need to carry into that next cycle. For some of us, that's going to feel like the exhale before our next inhale. Um, yeah. So this gathering, I did want to break it down. What this Pisces energy means for the collective, what it means inside of the collective 1 year, and then I wanted to explore what this looks and feels like for the different elemental signs as well. So, like looking at our fire signs, our water signs, air signs, etc., to see how this energy is specifically affecting us in that way. Um, so let's talk about this Pisces energy in general right now, because Pisces energy is intuitive, emotional, spiritual, creative, dreamy, deeply connected. But on its shadow side, it can also be a little bit of an escapist. All right. And if you do read the post that I made today, there's definitely like some escapism that wants to happen in my mental state right now, because it's like, I don't want to look at this anymore. I don't want to face it anymore. I don't want to think about it anymore. I just want to, nope, I'm done. Also, shadow traits of Pisces can be avoidant. Surprise, surprise. And then also overwhelms when ungrounded as well. So collectively, this new moon can feel like emotions rising without necessarily knowing like what's going on beneath the surface of it. Needing more rest, space, quiet. You might feel yourself just getting really irritated um, by being overstimulated. And by that could be like by being overtouched, being overtalked to, being just anything where it's like it needs energy from you feels like too much right now. Because I know that that's how it is for me in this moment. Um, Collectively as well, this new moon may bring a heightened intuition or vivid dreams for you as well. There might also be a pull to disconnect from noise, people, pressure, also a desire to create, reflect, or even just be, because this is not a push forward type of moon like a new moon normally would. It's a what needs to be released so that we can move forward cleanly, clearly, more grounded, more in alignment and embodied with everything that we've healed through over the last astrological astrological cycle. Because we're at the end of this astrological cycle, we're about to start a new one, right? So that can bring some feelings around that as well. So this Pisces new moon inside of a collective year one, where the one is about new beginnings, identity shifts, initiation, fresh starts. Um, Pisces is just like, hey, but remember, we're not starting something new while we're still gripping onto something that's considered old or old patterns or old ways of thinking, being, expressing, behaving, whatever. Um, and Pisces will come in and say, hey, before you step into that new identity, what needs to be softened, forgiven, or released? So it's kind of like this bridge of who you've been and who you're becoming. So last time we were here, I also talked about my personal experience where I feel like I'm kind of in this in between state where um, there's a lot of me that has let go of past versions of me, like some of my old crutches, identities, so many things that I've let go of over this last year. But that there's still this unease within me to be able to feel like I can just easily step into this next version of like who this bitch is. And like I can't quite figure that out. And it's not that I'm actively trying to either. It's just that it feels like I'm stuck in this place where it's like I have the momentum to step forward, but it just feels like there's something that is like keeping my feet planted to the ground, right? So again, it's like that who I've been versus who I'm becoming. And right now in this moment, it just feels like I'm very planted in that in between state. And I feel like the reason that the noise is so amplified right now for me around, the addictions that I've given up or the things that I've healed through the identities that I've shed and all the reason I feel like it's so loud right now is because as these things are dying, they're going to get louder. They're going to make more noise because they're dying, right? And they don't necessarily want to die. And it's just pieces of the ego that's dying away. So you might experience that too. And if you haven't already, then that might be something that happens over the next couple of days as we're really in the heaviness of this new moon. This moon is really helping us to let go of emotional residue, closing up some of those energetic loops, clearing space internally. Um, and that noise, that monkey chatter, whatever it is that you want to call it, is really there to give us the insight of like, okay, what's still bothering us? What's still going on underneath the surface of all of this? Um, what are we truly feeling around it? Okay, so let's talk about how this is going to affect each of the elements. So first let's start with the fire signs just because that's what I know. Okay, I'm a triple fire sign. I've got Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius as my top three. Okay, you guys already know this about me, so I don't need to say it. But I'm Sagittarius sun, I'm Leo moon, and I'm Aries rising. So I'm just pure fire. And I honestly think that us fire signs have the astrology world fooled in a lot of ways because they like to think of the water signs as the more emotional signs. And maybe they are in the way of like an emotional shedding. Like they're very good at expressing their feelings, crying, all of the things. Whereas fire signs were really fucking stubborn and like we don't want to talk about the emotions, we don't want to have the emotions, we don't want to experience the emotions. And a lot of times because we suppress those emotions, it's going to come up as like an anger, it's going to come up as an irritation, it's going to come up as all of these other things that might make us seem snappy or bitchy or whatever, when really it's just that we don't always want to face and look at the issues, right? We want to just a lot of times, and I'm just speaking from my experience. If you're a fire sign and you're like, that's not me, then cool, amazing. I love that for you. You're on a very healed, great journey. But for those of us who are still like really experiencing our humanness, um, sometimes we can just be like really out of sorts with our emotions and not like to connect to them too much. And when we do finally reach that like overboiling part, it more likely is going to come out as like rage, anger, and things like that. And we're going to cry through that rage and anger, but it's more going to show up like that versus like really digging into the feelings and sharing of that. Um, So yeah, also for my fire signs, this moon is going to feel extremely draining. Okay. And I want you to know this isn't about you losing your spark or your fire. It's just You're being asked to rest here. So for the fire signs during this new moon, this is going to be about slowing down without guilt, listening to your intuition instead of reacting, and letting clarity come instead of chasing it, because your power right now is in the pause, not in the push. Now, water signs, these are my Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces friends. This is your playing field, okay? Like you are so used to this energy, like that extra emotion, that extra sensitivity, all of that, like that's not new to you guys, all right? Like this is just like, okay, we're gonna take this shit down because you already know about it. You're familiar with these feelings, you know what these feelings are bringing you, and you know that the invitation here is about like not drowning in whatever it is that's coming up. It's just about witnessing it and letting the emotions to move through you without it becoming the identity. And I think that's where water signs really shine. I think they do a great job of moving through any emotions that they're experiencing so that it doesn't become an identity. Whereas some of us fire signs are really good at like swallowing shit down and then allowing that shame, guilt, fear, whatever become part of our identity. So here's what's going to be very powerfully healing for my water signs through this new moon is going to be feeling it, naming it, releasing it. And I also think that that will be beneficial to my fire signs as well. So you can take note of that. Air signs is our Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius friends. So air signs, they like to understand things. Okay. Like they want things to be logical. They want things to be like, okay, here's the clinical report. Here's what this looks like. Very analytical, very into all of the things. Where Pisces is like, no, we're not going to explain or justify. We're just going to feel. And for air signs, that can be really fucking annoying. Like it can be really fucking annoying, especially because a lot of air signs have difficulty in naming and placing what it is that they're feeling. And like that's okay. There's nothing bad or wrong about that. That's just kind of one of those things that becomes a difficulty to navigate as you grow and expand and all of the things. It just becomes one of those things that you're just a little bit challenged by. And if my if my air signs are ever together with water signs, like that can be a very difficult area to navigate, but both parties could learn so much from that. But that's a different tangent. We'll talk about that another time. But um, this energy specifically for my air signs is going to ask you to get out of your head, to drop into your body, and to trust what you feel without needing to define it immediately, which can be very irritating for the air signs because like I said, they're very logical. They're very like, these are the rules, these are the boxes, even though like I know Aquarius is very like out there in different ways. There still is kind of like an organization to their chaos as well, right? And there's still like this analytical side of the Aquarius that wants to have all the I's dotted and all the T's crossed before they move forward, which is like same for any of the other air signs. And they don't always do great with dropping into the body and identifying what they're feeling. Like emotional intelligence is a very difficult thing for the air signs to learn. But this you're being supported through this in this new moon. So like not everything needs to make sense to be real, right? And that's sometimes where air signs can get a little stuck. Now our earth signs, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, they like stability, structure, knowing what's next. And Pisces is really great at like turning shit upside down on us. And for the earth signs, they don't like it, right? Because earth signs, while they are typically usually pretty grounded, they're not so like analytical and in the mind so much. They are more of being in the body. But earth signs, when it comes to Pisces energy, can just distort things temporarily. Like it could make things feel unclear. It could make communication and things feel really foggy. And here's the thing that the earth signs don't love. Like earth signs love control, but this Pisces energy is not going to allow you to have any kind of control. And that is something that can be very challenging for my earth sign or my earth sign girlies. So the invitation here is like, can you trust without needing certainty? Because this energy is asking you to soften your grip and to allow flow. Like you're not losing your stability from this, you're actually learning flexibility. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna leave that there with you. I think that's enough yik yakking about this energy and the stuff that's going on. Um, so I'm gonna invite you now to just take in some nice big deep breaths. Let's start connecting with our body before we do our meditation. In the video description of this replay on YouTube, there are going to be journal prompts there for you. I created 3 journal prompts that are specific to this Pisces new moon. So you can feel free to grab that information and to um, come into this ceremony, this gathering, with either doing the journal prompts first or taking the time to reflect on the journal prompts, whatever works best for you. I'm not going to tell you how to do that, but anywho, you're just going to settle into your body no matter where it is that you are, whether you are sitting, standing, laying on a bed, sitting in a chair, sitting on a floor, just wherever it is that you are in this moment, just really connecting to the body, breathing into the lungs nice and full and deep. Okay. And as you're breathing in through the nose, I want you to visualize being surrounded by this white light. And as you're breathing in, you are breathing in that white light as well. And it's coming in and it's purifying and it's cleansing on a cellular level inside of the body. Cleansing, clearing, purifying any stored trauma that's ready to be healed and moved. Cleansing, purifying, releasing any of those old identities that are ready to shift. Just cleansing and purifying anything that needs it in this moment. We're just going to stay here and breathe into this for a few moments. Beautiful friends. Hopefully now we're nice and relaxed and at one and at peace with our body. We're going to go on a little visual journey today. We are going to let the body let go of the score today. Okay. So we're going to let the shoulders drop. You're going to unclench that jaw, relax your forehead. Let your body know that it doesn't need to hold on to anything right now. Okay. Now, in your mind's eye, I want you to see, sense, or know that you're standing at the edge of calm, still water. And this water is representing your emotional space. There is nothing dangerous here, only depth. I want you to see, sense, or know you slowly stepping into the water, feeling it around your feet, your legs, your body, feeling supported. Now, I want you to imagine that you are holding something, not physically, but energetically, whether that's a feeling, a memory, something that causes some kind of weight. And just notice what it is. You don't need to analyze it. Let's just recognize it in this moment. I want you to take this thing that you're holding. I want you to gently place it into the water and watch it as it dissolves. Not violently, not dramatically, just slowly vanishing and dissolving. If anything rises through this process of the dissolving, whether it's sadness, relief, clarity, or even if it's nothingness, that is okay. We're just going to let it move. You're not here to fix your emotions because emotions aren't broken. Emotions are energy in motion. Your only job here is to let them pass through like waves. Now, place a hand on your heart, and I want you to ask yourself quietly or just in your mind, what am I ready for next? Don't force an answer, just let it come as a feeling, a knowing, or even silence. All are valid. We're just going to stay here for a moment. Give the body some time to answer. Beautiful. Now I want you to imagine a soft light forming in your chest. This is your new beginning. It doesn't need a full plan. It just needs space. It needs space to grow. It needs space to recognize. It needs space to heal. This is your new beginning. It just needs space. And feel how much lighter you are without what you released in this meditation today. Now I want you to see, sense, or feel yourself slowly stepping back out of the water, bringing awareness back into your body, your breath, the room, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers, taking a nice big deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And when you are ready, just open your eyes gently, have some water. Maybe have a notebook nearby and there's some notes you'd like to make about your experience in the meditation, whatever feels good to you. I'm just going to leave you with these last final words. This moon isn't asking you to become something, it's asking you to clear space. So, what's meant for you can actually land. Pisces doesn't rush, it softens, it releases, it trusts. And from that space, your new beginning becomes inevitable. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, friends. I appreciate each and every one of you. Feel free to leave in the YouTube comments if you had any kind of experience or if you want to share anything that's going on for you through this Pisces new moon. And most of all, I just want you to know that like you're not alone. You're certainly not crazy. Um, Lots of us are just going through it right now. Like we really are. Like I said, it's the last zodiac. Um, we're ending the astrological year. And there's just a lot of emotion surfacing, and that's all right. All right. Thank you. Take care. And until next time, namaste.